Hey, everybody. Thanks for coming back. This is the All Meat, Hold the Anchovies podcast.
So, David, I have an update on my tattoo situation.
Did you get it?
No. And this is why. Because I downloaded this app on my iPad, on my big iPad. By the way, I'm Dwaine. This is David. This is, well, you already know what show it is. Anyway, so I download this app and you type in the font and what you want it to say or the picture and all this kind of stuff. And you do that and you draw this little U on wherever you want the tattoo. Okay. And then you put the iPad up against it and it shows you what the tattoo will look like on your arm. So
Really?
I thought that's a pretty cool idea, right? Because I was seriously considering getting Joshua 1:9 put on my arm. And then, as I will show you, I looked at my arm. That is not a tattoo-worthy arm. There is no definition to where my shoulder muscle is to, yeah, that's not a tattoo-worthy arm. So there won't be any tattoos. Oh, come on. You're like flexing or something. Those
You could have flexed.
busting out.
Now, when I said no, I no, when I said, did you get it? Because I already knew the answer because I would have gotten a video of you crying or at least calling out when the ink blotter went to your arm.
I don't think Connie wants me to get one. So I think she's asleep, though. Connie, you don't want me to get a tattoo, do you? No.
Tell her when we come in July, we're getting tattoos.
Yeah. When David comes in July, we're getting tattoos together. Mine's going to say David, and his is going to say Dwaine.
Then we're going to go find a cheap hotel because you won't want to stay at the house.
We are not doing that. Just to clarify. Connie looked at me like, you're such an idiot.
We should go out and do something, just hanging out and come back with fake tattoos.
Yeah. All right. Anyway, that's my update on my tattoos. By the way, your March Madness picks, every single one of my teams are out.
Did I tell you about my bracket?
No.
I've got 3 out of 4.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
You were supposed to help me with my bracket, and instead you get 3 out of 4 and I'm out.
I tried. I said Carolina. You said I have to go Baylor, Texas. And from there I said, okay, he's just going to do what he wants to do anyway.
I
told you Duke.
Not why I called you. There were a couple.
And I picked Carolina because I'm a fan. I didn't pick Villanova. But anyway.
I called you specifically for your basketball knowledge. And instead you bail out on me the first time I have an opinion.
What is my favorite state of you?
Frustrated.
Hello. That's why we're best friends.
How did I know that? So you purposefully sabotaged my March Madness bracket just so you could see me frustrated.
You foolishly trusted me, but then didn't listen to me through half of the conversation. You didn't even know there was 4 groups. You stopped at 2. I said, Dwaine, that's a final 2.
I like scrolled down and I was like, oh my gosh, I have to pick 32 more or more than that. Yep, I don't know how many I picked. Hey, you said the other day in a text message, maybe it was yesterday, that you went to like a friend's house with like 3 or 4 other couples and played like it was a game night or something. What game did y'all play? Because you never told me.
Well, let me set the stage.
Okay, set the stage.
I needed a break from working in the bathroom. Although now I'm officially a sheetrocker. I've put up sheetrock.
This is because you're remodeling.
And saving money. And yes. Terry seems to think I know how to do these things because I've watched it on TV.
Yes,
so
we have had this conversation for sure.
Yes. So we took a break Friday because Davis was testing for his next belt. He just started Taekwondo a couple months ago, and he was testing for his yellow belt. And to do the bigger belts, you do it on a Friday night. And and anybody from the, I guess, is it a dojo or the whatever the group is, they can come that Friday night once a month and test. And we didn't know how many people would come. We didn't know how long it would take. Testing was 5:30. game night started at 7, dinner, and then we just play games with a couple other couples. And excuse me. So I took him because it usually lasts an hour. So we figured, okay, 5:30, 6:30, then we could be there by 7. So 7:30 rolls around.
When are you eating in all of this?
We're not eating yet.
Oh.
It lasted 2.5 hours.
No, it did not.
It did. There were so many. There was like over 20 people testing, and I didn't know because it's like we're an hour in, hour 15 in. I'm like, I finally look. I'm sitting in the car. I look over there, and I'm like, there's adults in there. I mean, like parents in there, and I'm like, I should probably be in there too.
Oh my gosh, David.
So I go in there and people are sparring. Little kids are sparring, big kids are sparring. So I sit in there for the last hour and a half and watch. And it's really cool.
Yeah, but like how often did Davis even get to do anything? Once?
In the beginning, the first hour. The second hour, because he was a white belt, he was holding wood and helping people get dressed and stuff.
Well, you didn't have to watch all that.
Yeah, but I wasn't going to miss it if he did do something. I didn't know he wasn't going to do anything the last hour. That was for the upper belts. But anyway, that's the setup for this. And I'm telling Terry, honey, it's late. We're going to be so late. And she said, we can still go. I said, okay. And she's texting them, telling them we'll come as soon as we get home. So I run him home, and it's like 8:15. And I'm like, are we still going to go? And I'm like, she said they went ahead and ate, and then we can eat when we get there, and then we'll play. I said, well, I'll tell you this much. I'm not eating in front of anybody. So we're going to start playing because I've done it before because we were so late for an event once of Terry's old work, one of her former jobs. We were so late for the event. The event was almost over. It was a Busch Gardens thing. And we showed up for the dinner. The dinner was practically over, but we walked in and we walked up and started getting food from the buffet. We're the only people eating, the only people getting food. It felt so weird that I just sat down. I didn't even eat. I felt so weird. Anyway.
Yeah, but you're at a friend's house.
This was different. Well, I told him, I said, well, let's start playing a game because it's already like 8:30 and Carolina was playing at 9:30. I didn't want to be there real late, but we ended up staying late anyway. So they had this neat idea, Jeff and Cynthia. They had this cool idea. They took these little cards and they're conversation starters. And basically they put one under each placemat, randomly put them out. So we would just pick them up and have conversations. That way we didn't have to, so how was work today? Or, because several other people work at the same place and, kind of, it was kind of neat.
What were some of the starters?
One of them was, what was a hobby that you just don't get? Like
Wait, what is a hobby that I just don't get?
Yeah, that somebody does that you're like, why would they
collecting
do that?
thimbles.
Well, great response.
I mean,
do you collect anything?
Or spoons.
Besides iPhones, do you collect anything?
I don't collect iPhones. No, I don't really have a ton of stuff that I collect. No, I don't really have hey, this is my collection of bobbleheads or something. I don't have anything like that.
Okay. I have a couple things that I kind of collect. I don't collect them mattingly, as in I buy one every week, but there's stuff I might collect, like cups. I'm a cup collector, different unique cups and stuff.
Yeah. See, I used to do that and didn't have enough room.
But it's hard for me to pick on someone that collects something because I also randomly collect stuff. Now,
but spoons and thimbles.
My mother-in-law collects spoons. So anyway, but the Terry's thing was golf. She doesn't get golf. She's never played it. So I said, okay, since you've never played it and you don't really have a sport that you play every week, I said that's kind of okay. But I have a hard time picking on someone's hobby when I do something similar but of a different item or something. Another one was
okay, good.
Let me ask you this one. What's something you would do that you wouldn't normally do if there were no consequences?
Yeah, I had an answer in that.
Well, we didn't come up with personal answers, but I said I could see how someone would tell off their boss, go to them and tell them what they really think of how they're running the place and how doing things like that. And somebody else said parachute jumping. If there were no chance that it would fail or not go wrong, I would probably do parachute tandem jumping anyway. I wouldn't do bungee. We talked about that, but not. Yeah, what's something you would do if there were no So I think they were kind of thinking of, I would sing in an opera, or I would, as long as it was perfect. I don't know. So yeah, I wrote some.
I think of consequences as like going to jail for robbing a bank.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'd rob a bank and be rich, and I wouldn't have to go to jail.
Yeah.
And I could write a book about it, if I had robbed the bank.
Exactly. Exactly.
Well, what was another one? This is fun. And we'll get to the game in a little bit, I guess.
Actually, Cynthia sent me one after when I told her. I said, this is kind of neat because this is what Dwayne and I started out doing with our podcast. I said, now if it randomly comes up, we go with it. But we were looking for conversation starters. And one she sent me later was, what was the first major news story you remember as a child? I texted you this a while ago, but you do? You know it?
Uh-huh.
Oh, I know mine too, but I got to look mine up to see when it was.
What? Wait, how do you remember it if you don't remember it?
I'll tell you. I remember being in a car driving somewhere for it was a summer celebration. I thought it was July 4th, but it wasn't. It was actually August 16th, 1977. I remember hearing on the radio.
10.
Huh?
You were 10.
I was 10. I remember hearing on the radio that Elvis Presley had passed away. That was
I was 7.
I specifically remember being in a car. I can picture the lady and hearing it on the radio that he had passed away.
I was downstairs playing Sorry with my cousin and my brother and one other person.
Mm-hmm.
Man, my brother may not have been playing. And my mom came down and told me that Elvis had died. And I threw the Sorry board across the room and went up to my room and cried.
Really?
And then they were showing a concert that night, the 1970-something concert.
Yeah.
And Mom and Dad let me act like I was going to bed with my cousin at the same time, but then I got to get up and watch the concert.
They were going to let you get up?
Yeah, and watch the concert. I was a huge Elvis fan. I was like the kid with the aluminum foil on the wooden spoon standing in front of a mirror singing all the Elvis songs.
Who else? Does Joshua do that too? I thought one of your boys does that.
I don't know of any of my boys that do that.
Oh, I thought one of them did.
I remember doing it. I found one of my wife's old Elvis albums. It was a blue album with yellow Elvis written across the front. It had Hound Dog, Jailhouse Rock, all those good ones.
So that's your earliest historical memory?
Yeah. I also remember
crazy.
Ronald
We got the
Reagan
same
getting
one.
shot.
Oh, I definitely remember that.
I was standing on a fence looking over at my neighbors swimming in their pool, wishing they would, trying to get them to invite me to come over and swim in their pool. Like, that sure does look fun. I wish I was swimming.
Don't look at him. It's that Dwaine kid. Don't look at him.
That's right.
You weren't standing on a grassy knoll or anything, were you?
No.
Okay.
I don't remember that. I was too young for that.
I don't think we were here for that. Yeah.
So, and I remember the shuttle.
Yep. I remember where I was for that. I was in college in biology class, and he brought the TV in, and we didn't know why. He said, we need to watch the news today. We're going to watch the news. I said, okay, this is weird, but okay.
I remember the O.J. Simpson verdict.
Yep.
I was in graduate school, and we were in class, and we stopped class and turned on the TV and watched the verdict.
Wow. I was sitting in a work truck with a buddy, and we were getting ready to go into an office to do some work for their telephone system. And the verdict was coming on the radio. It was in the afternoon, and we sat in the truck and waited for the verdict to come out. And then by the time we got out, the place was closing, so we had to turn around and go back the next day.
Oh, man. All right, so tell me about the game that y'all played. Was it any good? Was it a fun game?
It was, and I'll tell you why. There was no board throwing, for one thing.
Well, yeah.
Did you throw any more boards in your life?
No, Connie did. Connie threw the Monopoly. You know this. Connie threw the Monopoly board across the room during our first year of marriage when we played Monopoly, and we've never played together since.
All right, so
maybe one time with Nathan.
You like Monopoly. Why do you like Monopoly? Right? You like that game.
Well, I wouldn't want to play it all the time.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I guess I like Monopoly if I'm playing with my boys or something.
Yeah. See, when we were playing Friday night, I was trying to think about stuff we could talk about because we both when we all get together, we always play games and stuff.
Yeah.
And so what I like and don't like about games, and what I don't like about Monopoly is that it fits into the category of long games.
It's true. Sometimes it gets really long.
Kind of like
if
Risk.
You don't kick somebody's butts right away, then it takes forever. And it's pure luck after a while.
Yeah,
you know?
Exactly. We played, me and Bailey and Gracie and Davis played either last Christmas or one before, and it may have been a Star Wars game, and Davis got this one place that we all kept landing on, and he killed us.
Yeah.
You know, it was just luck. Roll the dice.
Now, I don't like any of the spin-off Monopolies or the spin-off Trivial Pursuits.
See, I like Trivial Pursuit, but people get upset when they don't know answers, and I know a good number of them. And it's not because I'm smart. It's because I've just read stuff and watched stuff.
Yeah.
I have memory about stuff. But long games like Risk, I used to play it with my brother, and about 5 minutes in, I would start doing stupid things so he would win and get the game over with.
Yeah, and then they get mad.
Yeah. So,
but if you get bored with the game, then why play it?
Exactly.
No, I don't want to finish a game just because I have to finish it because I've been playing for 2 hours. I mean, it's like, look, it's not fun anymore. Why are we still playing?
And like checkers is fun, but you get to a point where people just don't do any moves. They just go back and forth, and that kind of frustrates me. So
not if you win.
I know, but then when somebody's losing, they just run away from you.
Oh, well,
so
that's true.
You got to trap them. So I like quick, short games. And the game we played, Jeff brought it out. It was 5-minute battles. It's a Marvel game.
Oh.
And it was kind of neat. We had different cards. We each had a Marvel character, and basically we fought all the minions of a big villain, and then we fought the villain. And you had to use the cards that were dealt to you. You couldn't go – there wasn't an extra deck or anything. So basically you had different powers on your cards. You flipped the minion over, and then the minion had 4 symbols on it, and you just had to play cards that matched those symbols. Sometimes it was double, sometimes it was single, just to kind of get rid of that card. Then you flip the next minion over, and you go and go. And every once in a while, you'd have, like my Hulk, I was the Hulk, and the Hulk card said, this card defeats a minion, and if the next card flipped over is a minion, it defeats that one too. So we didn't have to waste any of those cards and stuff. So it's kind of neat. The funny part was you were timed. You had 5 minutes to do this. And sometimes you were going through like 17 or 18 minions to get to the main villain. And it wasn't that it was super strategic or really hard or anything. It was more like one of those funny games. If you do a game in 5 minutes, you're going to be laughing at some point, and it's going to be over and done. And then you can stop. Yeah. There's no continuation because we're all winners or we're all losers. If the timer goes out, we're all losers. But it's kind of neat where there's not that you necessarily win. It's just that you get to complete the game, and it's like a 5 and out, and that was pretty cool.
I like those kind of games because if you're in a group and it's 9:30 or whatever, or 10 o'clock, and you're like, well, I enjoyed the game. Well, heck, we have time to play it again. Let's play it again. Rather than, all right, this is an hour game. Do we want to start another game at 9:30? You know, so I like those kinds of games.
That's what gets us in trouble when it's the 4 of us. We keep playing short games. Well, so like Shanghai. When we play Shanghai, it's like 7 rounds. And it goes really quick, except when we play it and we talk the whole time. And it takes about 3 hours. Right. But I like short. That's why I like Yahtzee and those.
Phase 10 takes forever, too. I played Phase 10 last night with 2 other couples, Connie and I did, and it took 3 hours.
I'm not even sure I've played that. We've talked about it, but I don't know.
It's kind of like Garbage. You've played Garbage.
Yeah. Connie's Garbage, the little kid game?
No. It's a card game where you got to get like a set of 3 and a run of 4. And then the next round, you got to get a set of 4 and a run of 4 or something like that. Oh,
that's Shanghai.
Oh, is that Shanghai?
Yeah.
Well, Phase 10 is much like that, except if you don't make your phase during that round, you've got to make that phase the next round.
Oh.
And the other people are going on.
As well, are you staying on that second level?
You're staying on that phase.
So you can't do second and 2 and 3. You have to only do 2.
So I was like Phase 1 for like 5 hands.
Is that frustrating?
Well, they were all skipping me on purpose and stuff.
And
you can't buy cards. You know how in Shanghai you can buy cards?
Yeah.
You can't buy cards.
Yeah.
And you can't swap out cards for like the wild cards. If they played a wild as an ace, well, there's no aces. But as a 10, you can't swap out with a 10. I don't know what game you could do that with, but I remember being able to do that.
That's why I like Karma as well, because Karma is random as far as drawing cards. But there is some strategy involved. You know, remember giving cards to different people and skipping people and stuff like that. I like Karma a lot. That's fun.
Have you played Exploding Kittens?
I think I played it once with the same group.
It's fun.
It's years ago, before COVID.
Years? I don't think it's been out that long, has it?
I want to say it was pre-COVID.
It was a Kickstarter thing.
I bet it was 2018.
Yeah, I'm gonna look that up. Well, I don't have to look it up. But anyway, Exploding Kittens is pretty fun. It's pretty fun. it was a little complicated to learn, but once you learned it, it was pretty fun. So I tell you, a fun game to play with another couple is that game where you have the red little circle thing, and it's like password or something. I'm trying to get you to say the word, and then once I say it, I pass it to the next person, and there's a random timer going, and if the thing goes, then you lose. That's quite fun. That's kind of.
We play a
What's
game.
What's the name of that game? The game where you try to get your partner to guess the word, and if you don't, it buzzes in your hand. You have to pass it around. She's trying to remember. I'm trying to remember a look on her face.
I'm trying to remember too.
Well, when you think about it, come tell us. Anyway.
Terry, what's that game where we draw in the books and you pass it around?
Do what, Connie? People are screaming at their radios or their iPods right now.
Have you ever played Telestrations?
What?
I think it's called Telestration. So it's basically.
It sounds supernatural.
You have a like a multi-page dry erase book, and you got a word like yard sale, and then you draw a yard sale. You turn the page, you draw a yard sale. Then you pass the book to the person beside you, and they have to guess what it is on the next page. They guess front yard, and they pass it to the next person. The next person has to draw front yard. And it's kind of like the telephone game by the time it gets to the end. And then by the end, you get your book back. You say, well, I had yard sale, and so-and-so drew this, and so-and-so thought it was this.
Well, that's an interesting take on the telephone game.
It's like Pictionary or telephone, but with drawing instead of words. That's pretty fun.
It's interesting. Games go through fads. Like some games last the whatever of time, like backgammon is still around, and Uno. Still around. People still playing Uno.
It's on its 8th rendition, I think. 8. Yeah. But they varied it.
Yeah, people still playing Uno. Nothing like the classic. Anyway.
Well, that brings up another point I want to mention is what's the most important thing in a fun night of games?
Laughing.
Laughing's good, but knowing the rules. Everyone knowing the rules. Go ahead. Because we played one of the later editions of Uno, and I think it's called Uno Flip, where you play the flip card and it flips your hand over, and you're playing the backside. But Gracie and Davis apparently know the college rules, which are much different about, I can play all the green twos or all the same color cards. But it's like, well, I would have done that if I'd known that 3 hands ago, So it's kind of like, so we do that. We're kind of competitive, especially my mother-in-law. We are kind of competitive. So we, at the beginning of every game, we're like, what are the rules and what rules are we playing by? So.
Right. Now, if you're all in the same family, then that gets a little complicated. You have to decide. But if we're having a game night, whoever's house we're at, those are the rules.
Oh.
So it's house rules. So like when we're going to play spades or something, or we're going to play whatever, and we're at someone's house, it's like, or Monopoly, which we wouldn't, but okay, what are your rules? How do you play this? So that if there's something different, like some people play with free parking, some people don't, and some people with spades say you can pass a card if you go low. Some people say you can't. And there's different things like that. So rather than argue rules with people, I just say, what are your rules? Now, there's a couple things that I will not tolerate. If we're playing cards.
I love this side of you.
If we're playing cards.
Tolerate. You will not tolerate.
I will not tolerate. If we're playing cards and you start dealing the cards backwards, you deal to your right first, that ain't happening. Also, don't deal to yourself first. And how about these people who don't really care if you got the right card or not? They're like, oh, oops, I don't know whose card that was. No, that was meant to be my card. That is my card.
You realize you should not have told me this, right?
Oh, shut up. You know this about me. I'm so OCD about these things.
Now, one thing I will say, we'll give Jeff and Cynthia credit. They love to buy games. So they find these
Go ahead.
popular games.
Yeah.
And a lot of times Jeff will pop it open, read it real quick, and then we get there, he'll read us through all the directions. So we are playing game rules. I mean, we're basically going by the game that's there. So it's kind of that way. We do play some card games, but mostly they try to find the most unique games. It's kind of fun.
Okay, I got a story to tell you. So we're in Texas for Thanksgiving or something, and my sister and brother-in-law are so excited. They had this new game that they were taught. So they come over and they show us the game, and I'm like, wow, this is way too simple, and this is not. So I start looking at the rules. They're not playing this game anything like the rules. They just, it's like the simplified kindergarten version. And I'm like, well, y'all know if you do, no, that just makes it complicated. Don't ruin the game. I'm like, well,
Really?
It's over in like 5 minutes because of the way you're playing. Yeah, they don't want to have to learn the rules. It's too complicated. I'm sorry, but I read the rules from the beginning to the end. But I'm not a super stickler. I don't mind if we all agree to do something. I don't care if we all do that. But don't teach me a game and then.
I'm one card short, and I've got one card extra. Just give him a card.
No, you got to redeal. You have to redeal.
I can't
if
wait
you're at
till
my
this
house,
summer.
okay. Now the problem is because I'm like that, I have learned to temper that, right, for the sake of relationships and not to be considered a pain in the butt to other people. My oldest son, on the other hand, that's not. We were playing Uno I don't know how long ago, at our house with the kids and their married people.
Yeah.
You know what I'm trying to say.
Your daughters.
And Nathan got so upset about when do you have to call Uno? Is it like when you lay it down or when you let go of it? It's all this pickiness about when to say Uno because he wanted to go Uno draw 2, And oh man, he got upset.
So what is Nathan's rule?
I don't remember, but he was so upset because we actually went online and looked it up on the actual website, and we told it to him, and he goes, "That's just not right."
What is the actual rule? Because I have my idea what the rule is.
I don't remember anymore.
Because you can only call Uno when you have one card in your hand, and you only have one card in your hand once you've let go of the card that you put down. Because technically it's still in your hand.
Come on.
Technically it's still in your hand.
Yeah, but if someone can say Uno draw 2 before you can say Uno, then
no, I still have 2 cards. If I haven't let go, you say Uno before you let go. Is what I'm saying.
Okay, right.
Yeah.
Sorry. So I say Uno while I'm laying the card down.
Yes.
If I've laid the card down and I didn't say Uno and my hand has left the card,
oh, you're trouble.
You're in trouble.
Yes, draw 2.
Yeah, but Nathan, I don't remember what Nathan's thing was, but boy, he was upset. He was upset.
We've Googled the main sites of mini games many times. Ourselves. Yes. Family can do that to you.
Dude, it is 28 minutes into this podcast. I've been talking about games for like 20 minutes.
What else you got? Let's see what other games.
I used to play basketball by myself against my imaginary friend.
Did you ever win?
Sometimes he won. Sometimes I won. It was quite weird. I was a very lonely child.
You didn't play 2 square against yourself, did you?
No, I'd play around the world by myself, and then sometimes I play 1-on-1 by myself. So
really?
Yeah.
Oh, you had a scary childhood. That's good.
I did.
Now, I did play around the world, but I would time myself.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, in so much amount of time.
Do you know my imaginary friend's name?
Peter.
No, David.
No, it's just
I did not play with my imaginary friend Peter.
Let's see. Was it Thomas?
No, it was Mark, actually.
Oh, I was close. Another disciple.
I didn't even remember that until just now. And the guy I hang out with here is named Mark. So he was my imaginary friend when I was a kid.
Wow.
Isn't that weird?
Is it weird that I didn't have an imaginary friend?
I don't know. You probably had real friends. I would play Monopoly with Mark. I would do everything with Mark. I would play Rummy with Mark and go fish with Mark and everything. Went on my first date. Mark was there with me. No.
Oh no. Double date. Mark brought his girlfriend. Imaginary girlfriend.
Oh man. Well, man, we've gone this whole, it's 30 minutes and I still haven't told you about the unexplainable mystery of my Ring doorbell.
Well, you did update me on your tattoo, so that was good. Do we got time to do the doorbell?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. So I don't remember how long ago it was because I can't seem to find the video evidence, which is not cool. But it's probably on my computer. But anyway, so a while back, I'm at work. I get a Ring notification. I watch the video, and the postman comes up with a package that I can clearly see the package, and he lays it on the front porch in front of my door. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
My Ring camera always alerts me. If there's a cat that walks across it, it alerts me. I see everything that does my Ring camera. I get home. There is no package in front of my door, and there had been no Ring camera notification. I go to the mailbox. Guess what's in my mailbox?
The package.
The package. Now, later on, like before I got home, there was another Ring notification, and it caught the postman at the mailbox, but he didn't put a package in it. So, David, somehow a package got from my front porch to the mailbox without it happening. Because I have a Ring doorbell. It catches all this stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I'm totally dumbfounded. I called Ring. I said, there's something wrong with my doorbell. And, I don't know. We tried all this stuff. There's nothing wrong with my doorbell. It was a weird thing that happened. And I have further proof.
You called Ring?
What? Yeah, the company. It's a Ring doorbell. That's the brand name, Ring.
I know, but you actually called the company because you couldn't figure out how a package.
There was nothing to figure out. I called them. I said, either something supernatural has happened or your Ring doorbell messed up.
I wonder if they know you're the big ball guy. This is probably the guy
though, David. That is weird. Come on, you had to admit, if you saw a package being delivered on your front porch, on your security camera, and you came home and it wasn't there and it was in your mailbox and there was no video of that being moved, that would not make you wonder.
It would.
There's no explanation for this.
Is that the video you sent me?
No, that's what happened yesterday or today. Yesterday, I think.
Because we've talked about this, but I think you called me on it.
I'm sure I did.
Yeah, I don't think we talked on the podcast. Yeah.
Well, I got a notification. No, I didn't get the notification. I woke up to a notification that my Ring doorbell had detected movement at 5:30 or 6 o'clock. I sent you the video.
All right. So before we do that one, let me tell you real quick my Ring story.
Okay.
We have a bird bath in our corner flower bed right top of our driveway to the walkway to the house. Big old dog dug hole in the bird bath flower bed. Tara's like, I can't believe this. This was shortly after we got our Ring. And I said, honey, I will find out who did that. Sure enough, this brown and white boxer came in our yard, probably saw a mole or knew where a mole was and went after it. Busted. I have no idea who the dog belongs to or anything, but my little Ring caught that dog. It was so cool. I showed it to her. She goes, well, what are we going to do? I said, well, nothing. It's just a dog on the video. What do you want it to? I don't know who it belongs to.
That's why.
Yeah. I was going to say, when we first got the Ring, if I was bored at work, I would actually bring up my front door at work and just listen to it. Especially in the summer, and look out. It's like sitting on the porch. It was kind of like watching reality TV. You just got kind of addicted to it for a little while.
Dude, that's like creeping on people.
No, I was watching myself. My front door. I was like sitting at my front door. I wasn't looking at anybody. I was just listening to the sounds of the front door.
That's why I pay a little bit more. I don't even know how much it is, but it's very cheap for all the video to all the instances where it's triggered to be saved All the videos are saved.
Yeah, I do too.
Online. I don't know for how long, but yeah. Oh, another spooky thing happened. I forgot about this one. So there's been 3 spooky things happen. The second one that happened was in my driveway camera. I saved it too, but I don't know where it is.
You sent me that one.
Yeah. And the camera activates and you hear this weird noise.
Yeah.
There ain't nothing making the noise.
I remember that was weird.
It's like, what? Okay. So watch the video I sent you just now.
Okay.
And then it's only like 12 seconds. What is that, David?
That is the remnants of Pennywise going into the concrete and letting the balloon go.
Tell him what you saw, David. Tell him what you saw.
That's got to be a light reflection somewhere, but it looks like a balloon.
It's not a light reflection because it starts off one direction, goes down a little bit, goes in another direction. It switches directions 3 times.
It acts just like a balloon would if somebody was sitting on the ground, tugging it, and then letting it go.
And you can kind of see through it. It's this little circle. And it moves. There's a train going by somewhere.
All right, I'll turn down the train. Sorry. That's probably not helping the sound of the podcast.
Well, no, I mean, it makes it so that there's something going on. But it's a little circle, and it's kind of whitish and creamy. You can kind of see through it, right? If I remember correctly.
It's like the color of your column, but it's see-through. It's like a negative of
yes.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna watch it again because it starts off in one direction, right?
It's just like a balloon. It bounces just like a balloon up and down, and then it just floats up to the sky.
Dude. And it kind of disappears and comes back.
Why did you move to this house? I think your house is haunted.
I'm freaking out. Okay, where is this video again?
I'm going to send this to my family and get them to tell me what this is.
There's no knowing what it is. Oh my gosh. Okay, there it is. I want to watch it. Oh man, there it goes. It starts down. Hold on. Gummit. Sometimes it's so hard to adjust these things. Okay, so it starts in that spot and then it goes up and then down and then back up over to the left and goes all the way up to the top and out of frame.
But you know what? I said it was like a light reflection, but a light reflection would be a solid nonstop movement. This is so erratic that it moves. It slows, it speeds. It's constantly going up, but it goes so slow. I mean, that's weird.
I know it's weird.
Like you want to look down the street and see if you see some light down there.
I know. But, I mean, the fact that it moves like that, oh, my goodness. And, Connie was like, well, it's dew or some water thing. I said, that's no water thing. It's going up. There's no gravity. It goes up.
Round. It's got to be a light reflection somewhere.
Okay, it looks like it could be a light flare. But on what? What would it? But there's no other flare anywhere.
But the longer I watch it, the more I'm waiting for something to jump at me.
I'm telling you, this is just flat out spooky.
Interested to hear what my kids say about this.
You know what? I'm going to post this on our Facebook group.
You should.
And see if anybody knows what it is. I'm telling you, that's spooky.
That's almost more weird than the crazy thing on your light, the noise. Like we were thinking it was like a cricket or some sort of insect making a noise.
Yeah, I wonder where that is.
I don't know because I showed it to Terry and I could have sworn it was on my phone.
See, you know what's going to happen if that video disappears? We got something going on. We can make a movie about what's going on if that video disappears. Because that's just no. All right, see if I can find this real quick.
This is going to be our longest podcast.
Oh, crud. I don't see it. See, I'm telling you, I save these videos and then they mysteriously disappear. It's been since the new year, hasn't it? I may have to edit out some of this waiting time.
All right, if you're going to edit, give me 1 second.
Okay. Oh, there it is. Sound like a gunshot. That's what it was. No, that's what it was. All right, David.
All right.
I found it. You ready?
Did you find it?
Yes.
Hold on, I have my
All
ears on. Oh, you might nod. What did you find?
I found the video of the driveway incident.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. It's I don't remember what time of night it is. It's like the middle of the night.
Did you send it to me?
Yeah. No, I found it in my camera roll. Okay. The video starts off. The very first thing you hear, it sounds like a gunshot, right? And there's a car driving by, and my lights have come on. All right. Are you ready? I'm putting it up so you can watch it. Here we go. Now wait and listen. That sounds like somebody's sniffing.
Sounds like somebody's snoring.
It was at 6:05 in the morning. So here it comes again.
What's the date?
See, what the heck is that?
What date was that?
January 21st.
Okay. After
2022. I'm telling you, David, something's weird. Something weird.
It is that house.
I mean, that's the third thing that's happened.
Maybe we're not coming over in January.
No, that's what I'm thinking. I'm going to put together a little montage of all the weird things that have happened on my Ring cameras. All right, David. We just spent the last 15 minutes trying to locate that first video. We did find the second video that happened. So there have been 3 instances, and I'll make sure I play that for y'all, or I already have played that for y'all. So anyway, we have a Facebook group, www.facebook.com/groups/all-meet, and go visit us there. So that's all I got, David. How about you?
I'm good.
All right. See you, everybody.
See ya.